What's going on, guys? Colin here for this week's gaming news. Now, I noticed something last week when I was doing my news update for you guys. I don't know how I missed it, but somehow, some way, I missed it. I forgot. I don't know. Last week's news was on Red Dead Redemption 2 and Quantum Break. Well, when I went into my playlist, come to find out that at the beginning of March, I apparently already did a gaming news update on Quantum Break. Didn't realize I did that, so I apologize to you guys that there is 2 news updates of Quantum Break in it, but I didn't realize that I did that, so my bad, guys. I didn't want to take it down and redo all of it all over again, so I just left it in there. So there's 2 different videos that have Quantum Break in them, but then the other news updates that are in there are completely different, so we got that going. What else? I think that's all I realized that yeah, that was it. So, this week. You guys are also going to notice that over the past couple weeks, past 2 weeks, I think, I was doing usually about 3 stories per episode that I did for my gaming news, and I think it's the last 2 weeks, I've only done 2, and the reason for that is because the news that I'm finding on the 2 things that I'm doing for that week wind up being really big and, really long things to go through. So it takes up a good chunk of my time for the recording and everything. Because I don't want to do, an hour episode of gaming news updates. I'd rather try and keep it around anywhere between 20 to 30 minutes is what I try to keep my the news at for. Alright? So, for this week, it's going to be another 2 thing. Because both things I have are pretty decently long. So, let's get into it. Find out what I got this week for you guys. Okay, I actually wanted to do this last week for you guys, but because it was a longer one, I couldn't fill it in with last week's because those were bigger ones. So we're doing it this week. This week, the first thing I'm going over with you guys is Gears of War 4. It's an upcoming game. It is under development for Xbox One. Gears of War, I'm sure majority of pretty much all of you know this. It's always been an Xbox exclusive. It's never going to come out for the PS4, PS3, none of that. The PS5 later on down the road. It's an exclusive. Xbox owns it. Done. Okay. Now, who are the new characters? Gears 4 is built around 3 new characters who survive a single night in the woods. Gears 4 introduces 3 new protagonists. JD Phoenix, and voiced by Liam McIntyre, I think, or McIntyre. Kate Diaz, who's voiced by Laura Bailey, and Delmont Walker, who is voiced by Del Walker. Okay, that's funny. Huh. As reported by Game Informer, JD Phoenix is the son of Marcus Phoenix, which, come on, the last name is Phoenix. You kind of had to make the connection there for that one. He and his close friend Del are on the run after a classified incident that forced both men to leave the COG. Kate Diaz is an outsider, born in the wildlands outside humanity's fortified citadels. Kate is the daughter of Renya, an important outsider figure. Renya doesn't trust JD and Del. Oops, sorry. Okay, Game Informer reports that JD is estranged from his father. I can't say words. His father, the legendary Marcus Phoenix. The E3 2015 preview reveals male and female protagonists exploring the ruins surrounding a decrepit mansion. The hunt is interrupted by a wind flare, a vast cyclonic storm that spews lightning and gusts powerful enough to topple stone. After using an interrogated saw blade in his firearm, the protagonist cuts through a metal gate and the two take refuge. They pursue a beast into its lair and find an embryonic mass that splatters JD with glowing goo. Ew. The main characters encounter a large lair stocked with more pods and then battle a horde of wolf-like alien creatures. Now, thing says, what's the new story? The events of Gears 4 take place mostly after the course of a single day. The scale of the game has been drawn in, and the developer hopes that the close sense of intimacy will increase the stakes for the player. Gears 4 takes place 25 years after the events of its predecessor. The world is subject to extreme weather conditions, massive windstorms play havoc with players, blowing cover away and affecting enemy behavior. Portions of Gears 4 are inspired by northern Italy's geography and agriculture, including the Renaissance-influenced Primavera, a city designed for optimal military efficiency. As reported by GI Game Informer, Gears 4 is set a quarter century after the end of Gears 3. The weapon humanity used to destroy the Locust also caused an energy crisis that plunged humankind into a technologically dark age. The disbanded COG was reassembled to protect the population, forcibly concentrating most of its depleted human population into citadels. Humans who refuse to live in the corrals called Outsiders exist in tension with the COG. Excuse me, just need a drink of my coffee because if you guys don't know, I love coffee. I love coffee a lot. Probably more than I should, but hey. We all have our vices. Okay, the E3 preview setting is a dark castle with gothic influences. The area is very dark, and players must use flashlights to illuminate certain obscured areas. Okay. The planetary setting is a forested world overlooked by a pair of brilliant white moons. This may or may not be Syrah. It appears both protagonists are wearing COG, which is the coalition of ordered government's armor. Now, the next thing is asking what's the frame rate. No. No. Sorry, guys. Okay. The creator revealed that the campaign will be 1080p 30 frames per second, and the multiplayer will be 1080p 60 frames per second. Now, enemies. Let's see here what I got for the enemy thing. Game Informer reports that a group of new enemies kidnap an outsider settlement earlier in the game, and our new heroes take up pursuit. The cocoon-based humanoid enemies are called Juvies, the foot soldiers of a new enemy called the Swarm. Juvies eventually age into drones together. Weapon-handling foes also new are Pouncers, powerful and smart rodent-like enemies. Multiple wolf-like animal things attack the characters at close of the E3 demo. They are tough but vulnerable to gunfire and mechanical bladed weapons. Okay, next thing is asking is co-op back. Gear 4 will include two-player coach cooperative play. According to Game Informer, one player always assumes the role of JD, while the other player either Dell or Kate. Story elements change slightly depending on which partner and a character chooses. Okay, the new weapons in the Gears are modified after repurposed construction tools as reported by Game Informer. The drop shot is a giant gun that fires down-facing drill high into the air. Players can time the ignition of a thruster on the drill to send it burrowing into the ground. The buzzkill fires... Oh. Okay, it fires circular saw blades at enemies. That's pretty cool. I like that. Then there's Nosher shotguns and Lancers both make appearances in the first preview at E3. Now it's asking how have cover mechanics changed. Close combat cover mechanics have been revamped to make it easier for player to move in and make melee kills while covering close to one another. Cover can also be created from shooting hanging environmental elements down into the playing field. Now it's asking about the beta. The Gears of War Ultimate Edition will cost $40 and include early beta access to an upcoming Gears of War 4. The beta is scheduled for spring of 2016. And I saw something recently that said something about like at the end of April. I don't know if it's true or not, but I did see something that said that. Who is the Coalition? Black Tusk Studios is a rebranded Microsoft Game Studios Vancouver. The company has yet to release a game, but they are staffed by a team that averages 12 years in the industry. The studio is headed up by the studio manager, Rod Ferguson, who fans may recognize as a producer who helped create Gears of War back at Epic Games. Black Tusk was later renamed the Coalition in honor of Gears of War's. Okay, that's pretty cool. Black Tusk was slated to be working on a new game of their own according to Microsoft's E3 2013 press conference, so 3 years ago. That project is now likely out of production. The Coalition produced Gears of War remastered prior to their full-time work on Gears 4. Okay, that's what I got for you guys on the whole Gears of War 4 thing, which that actually, I've always been a big fan of the Gears of War franchise. I was going to say Gears of War 4 game, but I was like, no. You can't be because you haven't played it. But anyways, I've always been a fan of the Gears of War. When I did have my Xbox 360, I got all the Gears of War games. I played all of them. Now I don't have Xbox anymore. I have PlayStation, as you know. You guys will know because all the games that I upload are all PlayStation games. If I could own an Xbox and do PS4 and Xbox games for you guys, sure, not a problem. I'd love to, but I can't. I can't afford to go out and buy an Xbox right now. And then I don't know if the new Xbox has a record feature like the PS4 does. I'm kind of guessing that it does. I actually don't know. So my thing would be, if I go out, if I were to get an Xbox and it doesn't have the record feature like PS4 does, I would then have to go out and buy capture software to use on my computer. And right now that's just, I can't do that right now. You know, financials, aren't they fun? But that is a thing that I'm trying to put money away for, and later on down the road, hopefully I will get capture software, because I really like to time my videos out to about 30 minutes a piece is what I would like to do my videos at, which will also cut down on my amount of videos that I have to upload, because like right now I usually only upload around 3 or 4 videos a day, and I try to keep it at that. And the reason why I have to upload 3 to 4 videos a day is because my video times are only 15 minutes a piece. So, and I'm sure you guys know that. So I'd like to turn it into a half hour to where I could do, you know, 2 or 3 videos, and I would have like an hour and a half of gameplay for you guys to go through. You know, right now my 3 to 4 videos that I upload daily only equal 1 hour. So that is why I upload 3 to 4 videos a day for you guys, so you guys have at least close to an hour of stuff to watch if you have the time to and whatnot, you know. But anyways, sorry, I got sidetracked there for a smidge. I tend to go on rants. All right, the next thing that we're looking at, No Man's Sky. This game looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I very much want to get it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. We will see what happens in June. I am not making any promises. If I can get the money for it, awesome. If not, eventually I'll get it and put it on my channel, but as of right now I can't. I'm a little bit tight on funds right now. Alright, so No Man's Sky is an upcoming adventure survival video game developed and published by the indie studio Hello Games. The game is scheduled to be released worldwide in June of 2016 for the PlayStation 4 and Microsoft Windows. Oh, so they are releasing it for Xbox One. That's awesome. I wasn't sure because the couple things that I read said it was originally going to be just a PlayStation 4 thing, but okay. That's awesome. No Man's Sky gameplay is built on 4 pillars: exploration, survival, combat, and trading, in which players are free to perform within the entirety of a procedural generated deterministic open universe, which includes over 18 holy shit. Wow. Damn. 18 quintillion. Okay, that is an insane amount of universes to go through. Holy crap. What player is going to be able to find time to go through all that? That's ridiculous. Wow. Well, okay, well, whatever. You definitely have plenty of freaking places to explore. Many of their own set of flora and fauna. By exploring, players will gain information about the planets that they can submit to the Atlas, a universal database that can be shared with other players of the game. Players also gain materials and blueprints to upgrade their characters' equipment and purchase a variety of starships, allowing them to travel deeper into the center of the galaxy. Survive on planets with hostile environments, interact in friendly or hostile manners to computer-controlled space faring factions, or trade with other ships. Some activities will draw the attention of sentinels, which will attempt to kill the player, dash character for killing too many life forms, or draining too many resources from their planets. Players participated in a shared universe with the ability to exchange planet coordinates with friends, though the game will also be fully playable offline. This is enabled by the procedural generation system that assures players will find the same planet with the same features, life forms, and other aspects once given the planet coordinates, requiring no further data to be stored or retrieved from game servers. No Man's Sky represents a vision of a broad attention-getting game that Hello Games has had in place since the formation of the company, set aside while they secured their financial well-being through other less risky titles such as the Joe Danger games. The game's originally prototype was worked on by Hello Games' Sean Murray and then expanded into a small 5-man team prior to its first teaser in December of 2013. Since then, more of Hello Games' staff have worked on the game, with about a dozen developers leading up to its release. Sony provided promotional marketing support, but Hello Games refused any additional development support. Sony formally announced the title during their press conference at the Electronic Entertainment Expo 2014, the first independently developed games to be presented at the Expo's centerpiece events. Oh well. Okay, so okay, sorry guys. No Man's Sky is a first-person open-world survivor. Players take the role of a planetary explorer in an uncharted galaxy. They are equipped with a survival spacesuit, with a jetpack, a multi-tool that can be used to scan, mine, and collect resources, as well as to attack or defend oneself from creatures or other entities while on a planet, and a spacecraft that allows them to land and take off from planets and travel between them, and engage in combat with other spacefaring vessels. With this equipment, the player is then free to engage in any of the 4 principal activities offered by the game: exploration, survival, combat, and trading. The player character can collect information on the panels and the life forms and other of the planets to upload to the Atlas, a galactic database as depicted in the game's cover artwork, which they are paid for with units. The in-game currency units are used to purchase new survival gear, tools, and spacecraft with more powerful abilities and defenses, allowing the player to explore more of the galaxy and survive in more hostile environments. Such upgrades can work in synergistic effects. The scanning feature of the multi-tool initially starts as a short-range directed beam, but can be upgraded to have much longer range, spanning all directions and locating minerals and other resources buried in the ground. The player's ability to explore players is only limited by the range of the hyperspace jump engines off their current spacecraft and how much fuel that the craft presently carries. The player will be able to view a galactic map to plot course between systems, which will be updated as other players upload their findings to the Atlas. There will exist numerous features in the space between planets, including ships and fleets belonging to various factions which may be hostile to the player, or which the player may wish to engage in space combat. The player's actions will influence how the faction treats them in future encounters. For example, by helping a faction with a space battle against a rival one earlier, that may in turn help to protect the players from a different faction later. The player can attempt communication with non-player characters from these factions using a dialogue tree interface. But this will require them to learn the alien's language, which will be a simple word-for-word translation, leaving the player to widely guess at the start. But frequent communications with that faction, as well as finding monoliths scattered on planets that act as Rosetta Stones, the player can better understand these languages, and can gain favor from the NPC and its faction for trading in combat. There will also be various space bases where the player can engage in trading of the resources and goods in a free market system. One such base will exist in every planetary system, so that the players will also have the ability to buy fuel to make hyperspace jumps to other systems. The player will be able to use resources they have collected to craft new goods, though they will be required to determine the recipes for these on their own or to purchase from vendors. This can enable players to collect rare elements found in a remote part of the galaxy and craft them to make highly desirable goods that they can sell to such stations. Will also sell new equipment to the player with rotating stock. Taking resources from a planet or harming the life forms on it will cause the player to gain a wanted level, similar to that of the Grand Theft Auto series, attracting the attention of self-replicating robot-like sentinels that patrol the planets. Low wanted levels may cause small drones to appear, which may be easily fought off, while giant walking machines can assault the player at higher wanted levels. Similar hostile actions towards the alien factions will cause aggressive responses based on a comparable scale, ranging from being intercepted by 1 or 2 scout ships to become the target of an entire armada's. The player character can die in a number of fashions, such as by sustained damage from a toxic or oxygen-less planetary environment, or extreme temperatures, attacks from dangerous life forms or sentinels, or being destroyed in space combat with the space-flaring factions. If the player character dies, they will respawn near their spacecraft. If they died on the planet surface, or will respawn at a nearby spaceport if they died in space combat. In either situation, they will lose all information that they have not yet uploaded to the Atlas and other resources collected since, but retain all of their gear they have already acquired. That is very interesting. Yes, yes. Oh. Okay, let's see what else we got here. All right. That was a good amount we just went through right there for all that stuff. Because I think my timer... Let's see, where's my timer at? Yep, I'm gaining close to 26 minutes already. Nice. And that right there is why I had to only go with Gears of War 4 and do just the No Man's Sky thing for you guys today, just because, you know, those two things took a bit of time, and, you know, I got some other stuff that I need to do today, and, for those of you that have been following my channel closely, and, you know, you guys know what's going on, I have been playing Hitman for a while now, and it is so much fun. It is a blast. It really is. For those of you that don't have the game, save up the money, go out and get it. Hell, if you got to, rent the damn game. It's a lot of fun. Now the funny thing is, I have more side content up for Hitman than I do the actual story missions, that's just kind of funny. But there is a lot of side content that you can play in the game. Oh, pardon me. Which is why I have more. Because the story mission, I think I did the story mission in 12 videos. So now I gotta wait for the next story mission to come out, which actually is not much. It's not very far away. April 26th is the next release of the next Hitman story. And I know it's in Italy somewhere, and I forget the name of the area that it's in. I think it started with an S or something like Silvalia or something like that. But that's coming out April 26th. Obviously, I'll be playing it, adding it to my Hitman story, and then we'll do more featured contracts and challenges and throw that in the playlist too. And then later on today, I will be hopping back into Heavy Rain for you guys. Because I only uploaded 6 videos at first, then I hopped back into Hitman because I was overloaded with Hitman videos to upload. And I still got quite a few that I still have to upload, but whatever. We will get to it. I will get those videos up. I'm going to get more Heavy Rain videos up, and I'm going to get this video up as well. So, that is where we are for today, ladies and gentlemen, alright? We got the Gears of War 4 news for you. I had got some No Man's Sky news for you. That is it for today. Come back next week, obviously. If you like what's going on, subscribe, hit that like button, and become a part of the Turtle Club. Because I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I mean, come on. They're on my back wall right there, and I got lots of other stuff. But whatever. That's all I got for you guys right now. This is Colin with Cowabunga Gaming, and I guess I'm signing out for today. I'll see you guys next week. Have a good one. Be safe. Love you guys. Deuces.